Hello and welcome to FountainFX on Wednesday the 7th of May 2014. We are looking at the news and there's not really a lot out today. There's a bit on the euro but hasn't really made a big impact. Been some negative news but as you see it's been insignificant in terms of its importance or impact. Unlike yesterday where we had low impact news for the Spanish economy, but because the numbers were so extreme it did have a big impact on the actual value of the euro, and we saw the euro jump 40-50 points upwards. If we're now looking at today, we've got no real major news for the US dollar or the euro until 4 o'clock today with the US dollar, and that's when Federal Chairwoman Yellen comes out to talk. Because of last week's jobs report, which is very strong, it was all positive from the US dollar. We're expecting there to be positive news from this. However, if you look at your charts and you go back to last week, you'll see that when the positive news came out, there was an initial reaction of 40 points. The euro fell against the US dollar by around about 40 points, only to turn and literally see all that gain on the US dollar get eaten up, plus then some more. So it seems to be the euro is in a strong upwards trend against the US dollar at the moment, so there's going to have to be some significant statement from Yellen to see a demise in the euro against the US dollar. But we shall see. So I'm recommending wait until 4 o'clock, see exactly what the news says, and then you can plan your trades accordingly. So if we flick over to the chart and looking at the 60-minute, if we just scroll left, we can see that on Friday at this point here, this is where the news came out on the US dollar, the positive news to say more jobs have been created, the US economy is showing strength or signs of strength, and we saw the euro fall against the US dollar. However, it just literally turned and came straight back up. So within 2 hours of the news coming out, the euro, the US dollar was back at its previous price point around the 138.60. It then pushed higher, it closed higher at the end of the day. Then we had, because of bank holidays etc., Japan and the UK, economy market was very much flat over Monday. Everyone else seemed to decide to take a holiday as well. But then opening Tuesday morning, we had this area consolidation, and then we had very much positive news come out of the euro in terms of the Spanish economy. The amount of unemployed in Spain dropped by over 100,000, and we saw that accepted as very, very positive for the euro. And we saw the euro rise by 60 points there, you can see that. So we are looking at price since then has very much gone sideways. Not a lot of activity in the US trading time zone yesterday, and prices just gradually start to push down. We can see that this morning we've had a minor reaction with the euro open pushed up, but then it's pushed down even further. We're looking at a lower, created a lower low, so there is a downward trend. So maybe what we could do is we could go into a smaller time zone, like the 15-minute, and use that to plot a trend line here from the highs to the highs, and maybe also a trend line from the lows to the lows if we want to run that. So let's run that one down there, and we can then use that to try and see at which point does it get broken, and where, therefore is it starting to show us if it wants to push up or push down. But in reality we need to be looking at this when at near to 4 o'clock this afternoon, when news is due to come out. As you can see, price is pushed up from just down here. We're looking at 139.30 to a low of just below the 139.15, so there is just above 15 points movement. It's not a lot. It's very difficult to be taking profit from this, especially if you're looking at spreads from brokers and so on. It's going to be difficult to be able to get more than probably around about 6 or 7 points profit. If you have been able to do that, then well done. And that's really it from FountainFX today. Wait until 4 o'clock and see if there's any opportunity to take a trade then. Thank you very much. Bye bye.